All right, hey there, everyone. I'm Katie Houston with News 5 Cleveland. And here at News 5, one of our commitments to you is to help you rebound from the coronavirus pandemic. We know a lot of people are out of work right now. So today we are focusing on helping you prepare for a large week-long virtual job fair. It kicks off Monday. So you see all these fabulous people here joining us. Let's introduce our guests. So we have Ida Ford with Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland, Cuyahoga County. Ida, give us a wave so everybody knows who Ida is. I guess the names are up there, right? Yeah, that works. Yeah, and that's the agency that's really spearheading this virtual job fair. Also, Anthony Fluellen and Jennifer Gennaro with Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, and United Labor Agency. And I know earlier we'd mentioned too that the resume writing expert Mir Garvey would be joining us. She apologized. She had a last minute something come up that she couldn't join us, but I did get some of her bullet points. So we'll talk about those too later on. And of course we cannot forget the wonderful Homa Bash, News 5 anchor and reporter joining us. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here, sharing your time with us and your expertise. So here's how this is going to work. Homa and I teamed up this week, as you know, different stories to cover the virtual job fair coming up, different angles. So first, we're going to play my piece about the job fair, the virtual job fair. We'll come out of that and we'll discuss. Then we'll run Homa's story, come out of it and discuss. Homa focused on getting computers and internet access into the hands of people who need that kind of help. And then we'll put a little more talk and then a bow on everything and part ways and say goodbye. But first, let's get to that story, set the scene here, that virtual job fair. The first time, right, the Cuyahoga County is hosting a virtual job fair. Hundreds of positions open. Here's the preview. About 100 employers are signed up to meet you once you sign in to the virtual job fair. Some of the companies that'll be there include University Hospitals, Cleveland Clinic, Ohio Savings Bank, and Giant Eagle. And postings range from entry-level to executive roles.
I think that this virtual job fair can give hope to the community.
Frank Brickner is the interim CEO of Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland, Cuyahoga County.
Individuals kind of were blindsided. They lost their job. Now where do I go?
He says from mid-March through May, 136,000 Cuyahoga County residents filed for unemployment.
This could be an opportunity for an individual to pivot to a new career, find out what other opportunities exist.
Here's what the virtual job fair will look like.
Let's click on Wingspan and see what they're about. They'll be able to see Wingspan's avatar that they've picked, scroll down, and then here's some information about the employer, their company profile, positions, openings that they have. They'll be able to click on the openings and they'll be able to apply to them right then and there.
Virtual chats will be available, so make sure your camera ready.
They have to make sure that their dogs and cats are put off to the side. You know, if they're going to be on a live Zoom.
Ida Ford with Ohio Means Jobs knows firsthand just how difficult it is to start over.
I was a former business owner and found myself out of a job myself. Walked through these doors, and 11 years later, I'm talking to the media about the opportunities that we have here right now. And that's why I think it's important that you participate in this virtual job fair, because in addition to the hiring employers that we have featured, we have a partner pavilion where it will have some other resources available for them to learn about some new training opportunities.
Brickner says fewer companies are hiring post-pandemic, but there are still opportunities.
The demand right now will outpace supply, but we hope it's a short-term situation.
He says Northeast Ohio has fought its way back before and is confident we'll do it again.
Employers want to help job seekers. Job seekers, there's a good work ethic. They want to work. So I think that will serve us well going forward.
Cuyahoga County committed $150,000 to create the virtual job fair. And the Mendel Supporting Foundation at the Jewish Federation of Cleveland kicked in an additional $150,000 to make this happen. The virtual job fair opens Monday. It runs all next week. You do have to register, so we have that information for you on the News 5 app. Just look for this story. Katie Houston, News 5. And I'm back. Magic outfit change. All right, so you guys were just saying the number for people enrolling is going up. Jennifer, you said you're now at about 1,100 people signed up for this. We know there are a few hundred jobs available, so the demand, as Frank addressed there, is high right now. Just a little bit more, let's dig into what people can expect when they log in on this week-long event.
So registration is pretty simple. They're going to be asked some basic questions individually about themselves, name, phone number, email. This is so we can keep in communication with them and try and guide them throughout the way. Once they register, they're ready to go. They're ready to participate in the event any day. They can come back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever they want. I mean, if you know they're night owls and at 2 a.m. on Tuesday, if they want to hop on, they can hop on, visit the employer booths and apply. So this is for anybody who is seeking employment. The important piece is resume uploading. You know, we are trying to target that. So we want to make sure that the job seekers are uploading a resume into that platform so that the employers can see who they are, the experience they have, and what they're looking for. And if they're having any difficulties throughout the event, if they need any assistance, Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland Cuyahoga County has an info booth, and there will be recruiters logged in all week to guide job seekers through the entire process.
Awesome. And I know, Anthony, you said, 1,100 people now signed up. You guys told me in all of last year, your biggest in-demand jobs event with several months of advertising, you had 350 people signed up. So what does that tell you? Who will be logging on?
And that 350 people that we talked about last year, we thought that was a fantastic number for that event with the 4 months of pre-planning. It looks like we have people from all walks of life that are registered for this event. We have people that are looking for maybe housekeeping jobs, and we have engineers and chemists and other professional level people also applying for this. So it's showing there's a great need, that people are either unemployed, underemployed, or just looking for another position. It's showing that they're looking for that. And also the employers have all of those levels of jobs. So the employers obviously have a great need also for all types of positions. And
what's your biggest tip for folks with the virtual job fair?
My biggest tip, number one, is upload a resume. Okay. A lot of people that have registered so far, out of the 1,100 people, there's a large percentage of them, they've done everything except upload a resume. There's an option there for your photo. You don't have to upload a photo. That's up to you as an individual, but you should upload a resume, because otherwise an employer doesn't have any reason to contact you back or to respond to you. They have to see your skills and education in order to know whether they want to talk back to you. That's number one. And the second thing is treat this event as if you're in an actual interview with someone. You have to be aware of your surroundings. Make sure that if you have pets, or turn your TV off, turn your radios off. If you have pets, try to put them in another room, because this is an actual interview. This is the wave of the future. I foresee going forward, even after the COVID is under control, if it's ever under control, right, how people will be interviewing and working. This is a much more efficient way.
Thank you, Anthony. Ida, what if you don't find that job that speaks to you, or you just don't get a hit out of this virtual job fair? Don't give up hope, right?
Yeah, definitely don't give up hope. The first thing that I like to say is I know that this is a new piece of technology for a lot of folks. And I would just say embrace it, and just, kind of take it back, take it in, that these employers are there because they want to be there. So maybe that fear factor, just kind of take it all down. They're there because they want you, and vice versa. What I would say is after the event, it's really, really critical to make sure that you stay connected with Ohio Means Jobs. Whether you're employed or not, or because you might be seeking some additional training, we have funding dollars available for you. If in fact that you want to go to work or want to go to training, but you can't afford it, we have supportive services available. And this that old adage that we say, that squeaky wheel gets the oil. Please call. We have employment specialists that'll help you as case managers. We have recruiters that have worked at Fortune 500 organizations that can help you. You call them, you say, I need to work, this employer, that's what we're here for.
And Anthony, you said you guys have a database of jobs that need filled right now, right? More than 100.
Yes. During normal circumstances, pre-COVID, we normally had about 220 positions open on any given day. During the last 3 months, we still have at least 170 different positions open. That's not saying how many people that those individual positions may be looking for. And once again, that could be from a housekeeping position to a vice president of accounting for a firm.
Yeah. And Jennifer, you said too.
Positions open.
Oh, sorry, Anthony. Jennifer, you said too that you guys have a high demand right now for work from home jobs, and you're working on compiling more of those for people.
So obviously the given situation is really changing. It's changing everybody's situation right now. And so the focus going forward is definitely going to be gathering employers who are hiring for work from home positions. We are shifting, towards that, and we will be within the next few months trying to gather as many employers as we can for work from home positions.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to mention on the virtual job fair starting Monday to let people know?
So I would like to say as a takeaway, if you're looking at industry sectors, like for example, healthcare, and so an individual says, I don't want to be a nurse, because that's not all that healthcare has to offer. If you look at our major hospitals, they're like huge campuses. You have librarians at an actual hospital. You have all different types of position, medical, coding, and billing. So don't just look at that title of healthcare and think, I don't want to be a nurse, I don't want to be a doctor, but that's not all that they have to offer. And I'll also let you know that the manufacturing industries have changed far from our old grandfathers and grandma's days of a manufacturing looking like a foundry. They are clean, they are lean, and there are a lot of opportunities. There are opportunities that have impacted because of COVID-19. There may have some warehousing positions open, but because of that influx, it has now opened up some positions in the HR department as well as accounting. So look at all of these opportunities. Just don't look at that employer and that one product that they make, but look at it as a big picture.
Great point. That's a really good point. Yeah, don't write anything off, because you never know.
Right.
So I think that's why this virtual job fair is really cool. Like what you're saying, you can get into every company, open up their avatar, and read more about their company and what they have to offer, and just learn more how it may be a fit for you. But I think one thing is clear, right, that we all understand right now is it is more and more a digital world, and everybody being online is very important. And Homa, that is why your story that you talked about, and which is a big part of the job fair, you guys' partnership with this, is this piece of it, computers.
Yeah, so we talk about virtual job fairs, working from home, and it's important to point out that a large portion of Clevelanders don't have internet access, they don't have computers, it is not as easy. When you go to our public libraries, when they were open, there are people at every terminal applying for jobs, looking for jobs. That's not an option right now. You can't really go to a friend's house and borrow a computer right now. So even if you had a way around it before, now you're kind of stuck. So, we used to think of high-speed internet access or a laptop as a luxury. It is a necessity for, adults, young adults, kids in school, every facet of life. So we've done a lot of stories with PCs for People. It's a nonprofit. They came here a few years ago, and the work they do is incredible. It is literally low cost or free computers to help people, get the resources that they need. So you want to play that story now?
Piles of computers, stacks of screens, hard drives ready to head to a new home. This is PCs for People, a nonprofit News 5 has told you about many times before.
Can't lose a laptop like this. It's a gift, it's a blessing.
The organization provides low-cost or free computers, internet, and tech support to low-income Clevelanders.
Since COVID has happened, our demand for computers has gone up tenfold. So we've gone from doing a couple hundred computers a month to well over 1,000 every month.
And while they're grateful to help the community so much, Executive Director Brian Mock says now they need a little help too.
But unfortunately, the donations of computers coming in has only increased fivefold. So we're also reaching out to corporations that are getting ready to recycle their computers. We provide secure data wiping and free pickup for corporations. We need more computers so that we can deploy them out to individuals in need.
People who need computers to file for unemployment, apply to jobs, or attend virtual job fairs. Data shows that in Cleveland, 1 in 5 households does not have a computer or internet access.
So not having a computer, not having an internet at home and not being able to go to places like the library or even friends' houses, right, has really isolated folks that don't have those connections.
It's why Cuyahoga County and Ohio Means Jobs teamed up with PCs for People to provide free kits that include a computer and an internet hotspot.
Almost new if you ask me.
It comes with preloaded software like Windows 10 and 3 months of free internet. After that, unlimited data can cost as low as $16 a month. And the nonprofit isn't just serving Cleveland. The free computers are sent statewide, shipped to Columbus, Toledo, Youngstown, Elyria, and Lorain.
So the goal is to provide people with as many tools and make it as easy as possible. You can't say, well, I don't have a computer. They provide you a full kit. It is keyboard, mouse, software, internet. I mean, here it is. You have no excuses almost is what they're trying to say. And if anybody wants to talk about it, we hear from people, wait, that sounds too good to be true. Free? What's the catch? Then, whoever wants to talk about that.
Well, I'll just jump in real quick. Everyone should really take advantage of this PCs for People program. It's a great program. It is great. It's not too good to be true. Our services are free. We've placed thousands of people in employment. Take advantage of all these opportunities. A virtual job fair is free. You don't have to spend money on a suit, parking, and all of this. So this is all one big gift that we're giving out. Take advantage of it. Call us. Remember the squeaky wheel? Give us a call. We're here to help. Technology is not going away.
No, and you want it to be equitable too, this rebound, right? I mean, it's just really not fair if some people have access to these jobs and others don't.
They have to stay competitive.
Mm-hmm. And Ida, when you say call us, do you have that number handy that people can jot down?
I do. I have 216-777-8178. And I also have a different number, 216-978-1375.
And you said you added a couple of people to help with demand to make sure everyone gets what they need.
We deployed some staff to make sure that we can make sure that we were accommodating all of the people that were in need of computers. I actually hung up from one of my staffers, and she has about 50 that she's referring over to PCs for People today. So there is a definite need. She did the grassroots by working with the churches, the community, CDCs, the council persons, getting that information out because folks need computers in order to stay competitive.
And they're literally giving them away. So just pick up the phone and call, you don't have to, or you can go to their storefront. Also, it's on 31st and St. Clair. They're open. Yeah, they're open all week long, 10 to 5, I believe. Mm-hmm. So you can just pop right in and you're eligible if, for people who are wondering if they're eligible, you're eligible if you're on any kind of government assistance. So Medicaid, food stamps, anything like that, you're automatically eligible. So just take your proof of documentation and they'll get you set up pretty quickly.
That is correct. There is an eligibility requirement, but 9 times out of 10, if you're not working, your job was impacted by COVID-19, I just show up. I really would just give them a call.
Yeah. And they have tech support. They have technicians sitting there in the office that can walk you through. If you've never attended a virtual job fair or never uploaded your resume, they can help with all that right at the store. So
yes.
Yeah, that's all really good points too, because I think you mentioned this when we were talking in the earlier interview. A lot of people haven't even attended an in-person job fair, let alone a virtual job fair. So just really commending people for taking that step, right, to do it, because it's intimidating, especially if you haven't been out there looking for a new job in a while.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it is a scary process. But again, just taking down the barrier, that employer is there because they want to be there, because they need you just as much as you need them.
Right. And one of those other kind of scary things and that a lot of people are unsure about is the resume. It sounds so simple, a little piece of paper, right, that talks about you and shows you off, but it is really hard to boil that all down to one page. So I know we mentioned we're going to have Mir Garvey here with us. She's a resume expert. I hear she's called the resume whisperer. So when we talked earlier, unfortunately she's not here with us, but she did give me some of her bullet points. And I know you all are experts at this too, because this is what you deal with day in and day out. Some of her bullet points. The first one was make sure you are highlighting your recent and relevant experience. One of her big bullet points was don't do a really generic resume that you just blast out to 20, 30 companies. She said it's more important than ever to really tailor your resume to every single specific job that you're applying to. Would you guys second that thought?
Yeah, so we call it targeting. You target your resume. So, I mean, the best piece of advice that I could offer to our job seekers is when you're looking at a position and you know that you'd be a good fit and you are interested, use some of those keywords from the resume and plug them into your, from the job description and plug them into your resume. It will help you get hits when doing keyword searches on the employer's end. But we have more skills as employees as we really realize. We often tend to underestimate our skill set, and we need to show that we're assets. So definitely use the job description. If you have that skill, pull it off of the job description and plug it into your resume for every position that you're applying for. And it's very important. I also want to say, Ohio Means Jobs, we are here to help. We are here to assist, and we assist with resume writing. It is a big part of what we do. We want to make sure that when you come through the door, at least when you walk out, you have a solid resume to go help you find a job.
That is so important, yeah, too, because she was also talking about, and I know, Jennifer, you mentioned it, the applicant tracking systems, which most all companies use. Basically, it's just an HR tool to collect and sort resumes, but you mentioned it, those key words. I think that's a part of it, right, is making sure that you have those words in there and the job titles that system is going to pull for and put your resume in front of eyes to get it seen.
Yes.
Exactly.
One of the things to look for with applicant tracking systems, and even the smallest companies now have an electronic online application process. A lot of companies, they only allow you to submit a resume once every 6 months or once a year. So if you know specifically what job you want, and that's the only one you want, for sure, target that resume to it for that position. But if you're also open to other things, make sure you put everything you know how to do with those keywords on your resume, because you may apply for, let's say, a bank teller's position at a bank, but you don't get that one. But then later, about a month later, the company has a different position that you know how to do. If you have that information on your resume, your name will pop up again when the company puts their keywords in for that. So I always tell people, be careful. Don't remove too much from your resume for a position, because if you don't get position A, you may get B or C that the company is looking for. And you're not able, with especially a larger company, to reapply again before 6 months to upload another resume.
Interesting, yeah. Okay, so that's good to know that you can get help with your resume there from Ohio Means Jobs to know, just a good simple format, easy to see, keep it one page. And of course, no typos, no spelling errors. So make sure that you're getting multiple sets of eyes on your resume too. And another thing she mentioned is, I think we talked about it earlier, but just practicing this, because a lot of companies are doing virtual interviews and hiring people virtually. So know your Zoom, know how to use it, download those systems, those virtual chats. But something she mentioned that I thought was really interesting is she said, make sure you're not looking at the screen, which, hello, I'm guilty of doing right now. I'm like, hey guys, hey, looking at the person and not looking right into your camera, right? I didn't even think of that. But she said, you want to, just like if you're in person, you want to maintain that eye contact. So she said that she tells people to think of it like that's not even there. The visual aspect is not even there. Ignore it. Just look straight into your camera lens and pretend like you're on a phone call, basically. So you don't lose eye contact.
It's a very good point.
So we've been also, this is a great new thing we've been doing, because we're all adjusting to this new world, but our recruiters have actually been doing practice interviews via Zoom with our job seekers. So if we have job seekers who are like, I have a Zoom meeting with an employer and I don't know what to do, I'm nervous, it's no different than in an in-person one. And we want to start making job seekers feel more comfortable. So we're available to help with that as well.
Yeah, what would be some, even going in probably the virtual job fair? I mean, because there's the opportunity to possibly chat virtually with some of these employers. What would you say? I mean, so maybe you kind of have some, I don't want to say like canned answers, but you know, you're prepared, right? Like what are some common questions you think that, hey, expect this, you're probably going to get this one, that people can start mentally preparing for?
First of all, I would like to say that they have to practice, know what employers that you're going to talk to, get a little bit about, I mean, you don't have to know everything, but know about at least what product or services that they may offer. And then I think that if you go in with that knowledge, it'll help the conversation a little bit better when they say, tell me about yourself, because that's going to be the first one, tell me about yourself. So practice something that's not longer than 15, 20 seconds. I mean, just tell me I am a customer service professional and I'm looking to work in an environment where I can apply XYZ and keep it short and keep it sweet. And then look them dead in the eye like, I'm done. Next question.
Balls in your
And
court.
it's critical, right? And it pivot to something else. And it's also really, really critical to take opportunity on the live chats to understand what that employer's workplace culture is like. I think that that's going to be critical. Is it a upbeat environment? Is it family oriented? Is it more technology savvy? Is it casual? Understanding if I can fit into that environment. This is your opportunity to ask, and even ask the recruiter or hiring man, what made you choose the company?
Another thing that's important to do for a job seeker, before you get on the interview, review your resume. Go over it, look at your resume, look at everything you wrote on the resume. Because if you're someone, for instance, that's been working at the same company for the last 15 years and all of a sudden you got laid off, you might not have looked at your resume 15 years ago when you got that job. And an employer may ask you about every single job you put on there. So they're expecting you to be able to answer what happened during your time at that organization. So review your resume ahead of time, get your answers together ahead of time, and just try to anticipate what an employer is going to ask you and be able to explain everything that you have written down there.
And smile.
Yes.
It's, I mean,
It's so true.
we forget, we forget sometimes to just, be ourselves and smile and, and it's very important. So.
And don't be afraid to toot your own horn. Okay?
Yes.
You've worked hard, you're doing the footwork to even get to the point where you're sitting in front of that person. So sell yourself. I think that's really hard for so many people, and maybe it's sadly because we can't see our, our own greatness and really, what we bring to the table. And maybe that would be helpful to talk to a friend or someone, or, former coworker and be like, hey, what,
Sure.
what did you see here? Just.
Yeah.
Hey, that's important. That's important. And after every bullet point on a resume, just think to yourself, what was the result? So I answered phones at the front desk, but what was the result? It was 100% no calls dropped. What was the end result of everything that you did? Every bullet point. If you can dissect that, you can sell yourself.
So you're saying bring those receipts, okay? Sell it and bring your receipts. Yeah.
I'm taking notes too.
What'd you say, Hoa?
I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I know. Well, is there anything else that anybody wants to add to all of this? Any other tips, any other bits of advice or encouragement before we wrap things up?
I just wanted to let everyone know that Ohio Means Jobs, Cleveland County cares about the community. That is it. 100%. Give us a call. Give us an opportunity to show you how much we do care and support the people that are walking through our doors or calling our phones. We're just not thinking about you as an individual. We're thinking about your whole entire family that we know that's important that you're trying to take care of. So please give us a call. We have employment opportunities available. Participate in the job fair. We also have training opportunities, funding for those training opportunities, and jobs in demand, and an entire staff like United Labor Agency, city, county staff that are here to help you. And we appreciate this opportunity.
Yeah.
From my viewpoint, I just want people to enjoy this. This is new for all of us doing a virtual event like this, as we've said before, but don't be afraid. Get in there, go to any employer that you want. Go in, take a look, introduce yourself, ask questions. And we discovered in the course of putting this together that this is going to be the wave of the future for us, because most of our events going forward will be handled this way, because this allows more people to actually have access to the jobs without having to physically get up and come into an office or go to an employer's location. A lot more people will have access to these positions within Cuyahoga County. So this is the perfect time. Get in, enjoy this event. It's a 5 full days. We've got a lot of different types of employers. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Get in there and use the info stand. We're there to help you if you do run into a problem. Click on and ask questions. That stand will be in from 9 to 4, all 5 days, to help you.
I'll be in there helping. So if they need anything, that's it. We are here to help. We want to help. So, if they need anything, they know where to find us.
Perfect. And we will be here cheering you all on. I think, yes, Cleveland, Northeast Ohio is strong and we can rebound, and, but we need help, each other. So I so appreciate everybody being here talking about the virtual job fair that kicks off Monday, the week of June 15th. You have to register. We have all that information for you online. Homa's story, you can see that again too. Make sure you get your free PC and your hotspot so you can take part in all of this as well. That number, we've given it to you. Just rewind on this video and you'll see it. You'll find it in our stories as well. So Homa, Ida, Anthony, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today. And again, make sure you check out the website and the News 5 app for all these stories and more. And keep it with us on News 5 as we'll keep up with you and keep bringing you ways to rebound, get back to work, and as you guys all so eloquently said, find your joy and support your family and rock on in life. All right, guys, have great days. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. Woohoo!